I've tried both. I'm fine with either one. As long as it's noted, we didn't do this. Try again. This one. Good evening. Good evening. Lake Belton won the Dragon Den Challenge and sent 3 teams to 5A UIL State. Please make some noise. They've also secured a Region 4 spot, while Belton New Tech at Wasco earned Excellence and Innovation Awards with teams advancing in 3A UIL State. Please make some noise for them. While we know we have superior students here, none of this would be possible without their outstanding instructors. So we want to shout out Andrew Berg, Pietro Justine, Jessica Pursilver, and the drum man, Stephen Ticer. A special thanks to all of them for leading these creative minds. It's hard enough to challenge students, but in this realm, it's even more intense. So thank you. If I could please have them go ahead and come forward for the robotics showcase.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me? Fantastic. Maybe. Can you all hear me? Awesome. Hi, my name is Andrew Berg. As you guys are getting ready, we are about to do a skills showcase here in a second. What this is dealing with is they have a field set up. They're about to then go by themselves and score as many points as possible. So give them a big shout out before we get going. Now, as you see this whole thing going on, one thing that I can kind of give a commentary on is that as they are filling up these different stakes, the top stake is worth the most points, and they're about to put it in the positive corner that will give them double points overall the entire time. They're going to try as many as possible in the 1 minute time that we have, and then it's going to be really nice. That buzzer gives an indication that they're halfway through. You can kind of see as they're trying to load into the other positive corner and getting them another double point. Good job, guys. All right, qualifier 1, let's go. Next round, let's go. Like I said, once again, my name's Andrew Berg. I am one of the assistant robotic coaches over at Belton ISD High School. I'm also one of the Robotics 1 teachers, and I'm also our district head ref for all the different tournaments that we have. This has been a really fun thing that I've been able to do, and these guys are going to reset and get our field ready for another competition that we call a head-to-head. Head-to-head has 4 different robots that we're going to be dealing with. They're going to be in 2 different teams. The 2 different teams we're actually going to have are Lake Belton and New Tech and Lake Belton and New Tech. And we'll compete against each other as we they're going to compete against each other in 3 different sections of the game, which I will explain as we go through. I'm going to help them real quick. I should say this. One of the things that we try to do to maintain the field is if you see some of our guys start taking off their shoes on the actual field itself, we try to maintain it taking off the shoes, and that way it's just socks and whatnot. Can you all hear me? Is that much better? Fantastic. I'm going to come over here then and start explaining while going through the game. All right, here we go. That's much better. Sounds good, everybody? Fantastic. All right. These are negative. That's positive, yeah. We need, these need to be right here. 1, corner, corner, corner. That whole thing.
We need the stacks over there.
We need 2 stacks right here.
We need 2 more. Sam,
You'll have your preloads?
yes.
Okay.
They don't. We need a red.
Red.
Is that the, yeah, right there?
There you go. Go ahead and put that on your butt. What are we missing?
We need 2 reds.
Yeah, we need this, the opposite of that real quick. So, do we have enough rings?
Work with what we have.
Okay,
Where's the red?
that's fine.
Not here.
That's fine. All right, here we go.
It's fine.
It's going to be okay. All right, Blue Alliance, are we ready? Yes? Red Alliance, are we ready?
Where they're from.
All right, so we're going to go around. We have a team from, I'm trying to make sure that we got to go through here. We have Belton New Tech right here. Good stuff. Belton High. Lake Belton, I'm so sorry. Then we have Lake Belton over here and Belton High over here. Oh boy, here we go. So as I was saying a minute ago, these guys over here are our Blue Alliance, and then our Red Alliance over here. They're going to be facing off against each other, and they're going to try to get as many rings on these poles that are on the sides and on back.
3, 2, 1.
All right, right now what's going on is they have a autonomous period. This is the first 15 seconds of the game. They are completely, this is completely coded. They are not driving whatsoever. So we take a second, go 3, 2, 1. Drivers, we ready? Drivers, we ready? Drivers in. There we go. Now we're going to the driver period in which they are going to be almost battle boxing it. As we don't really like to say, but they're going to be starting to load these different rings. Oh boy, they're really getting after it right now. All right, Blue Alliance. We got one of our Blue Alliance for Lake Belton over here is trying to put a ring on one of their mobile goals. We got a Red Alliance over here is trying to put as many as they can on here as they load up as quick as possible. Okay. Let's see. New Tech here has one ring that's stuck in the middle of their train, but they're about to. It looks like they're about to fix it. So we've now gone to a minute of the game. In the first, until the 30 seconds, they have these two positive corners that they can fill and make double points. All right. They're going to push against each other quite a bit. All right. Red Alliance seems like they're getting a pretty good upper hand here. We are in the last 33 seconds of the first part of the game. Now we have a 30-second mark. That means there's 30 seconds left in the game. They have these positive corners over here that usually give them double points, but in the last 30 seconds of the game, they are not allowed to touch those guys. All right. 1. Get off. There we go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is the game. All right, qualifier 2, let's go. Let's load up. Let's go. Release. Hey, how do you release?
Just unplug one of the two.
Here.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Touch those. Those are good. We need red. Those are fine. Here you go. Thank you so much.
Is that good?
Down, we're about to do one more left. Sorry.
Next one. Is it on?
I thought we were blue.
It might work on the red, but I have the laptop.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter. Just no, y'all are red. All right. While they are setting this one up, this next match is going to be New Tech and Lake Belton team together. Lake Belton's A team is going to be with New Tech's B team. I think most of these guys are going to state of some kind. So everybody that is going to be going against each other right now is going to state or has already been.
Okay. Okay, everybody good? Blue Alliance, are we ready? Red Alliance, are we ready? Autonomous in? 2, 1, go. Dang. The autonomous period is going through right now. We got the 9 seconds. They're trying to see as many as they can load up. The line's wrong. Anyways, here we go. Driver's period. Drivers, we ready? Drivers, we ready? Drivers in? Go! All right, these are some of our best of the best spots in the area right now. They're trying to load up and get as many rings as possible right now. Oh man, hey, they're not pinning right here. That's fine. Keep going. Red Alliance has a full stack of rings over here, but Blue Alliance just stole a double corner. All right, we are now at a standstill. They have to They're trying to get as many points as possible as we load these whole things up. Uh-oh. Let's see. Watch yourself, 458AA. You're protecting. We're at 43 seconds left in the game. They're going to try, the Red Alliance right now, they may probably do is these goals are just like these goals on the side. The more rings that they get on these, they score just as much. Positive corners are now touching. Hey, get off. I don't know. As long as you can move. All right, here we go. 17, 15 seconds left in the game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, game. Give it up for Belton Robotics, everybody.
When do you want me to?
Would you please just hang on with us 1 minute while we break down, or do you want to go
Yeah.
ahead and just say it from here?
No, let's let them break down a little bit.
Okay, perfect.
We're coming out through your
Guys, bring your box this way. No, bring your box all the way out. All the way out.
Want to do it from your spot
do it
where
there?
you can. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening and for your interest in Belton ISD. I hope you enjoyed our student showcase this evening. Let's give the high school robotics team a big round of applause. Folks, that's a display of what public education does for these kids. I want you to take note of that. Is someone here from Meta? Hi. I just want to recognize you guys and recognize Meta, because without you, this probably wouldn't have happened. I know that our partners here in our community are very important to us. We just talked about that in our workshop. You know, construction, automotive, those things are very important to us. But the robotics program, what these kids have done, would not have been possible without your $10,000 donation. So we appreciate that. We want to recognize that. Let's give these folks a round of applause. Okay, the time is now 6:31, and the Belton Independent School District Board of Trustees are now convened in a regular board meeting on Monday, February the 24th, 2025, at the Pittenger Fine Arts Center located at 400 North Wall Street in Belton, Texas. A quorum of board members is present. This meeting has been duly called, and notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. I want to welcome the members of our audience and our live stream viewers to this meeting. As the Belton ISD Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. This is a meeting of the Board of Trustees held in public, not a public meeting. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items may not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. This meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. These proceedings are being live streamed on the district's YouTube channel and will be available for review in the days following tonight's meeting. For the video to adequately reflect the proceedings, I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that the cell phones are on silent. Please rise for a moment of silent prayer or meditation. Please remain standing as students from Tarver Elementary lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and honors to the Texas flag.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
On Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please be seated. Let's give these kids a round of applause, if you would. The first item on tonight's agenda this evening is recognitions. We will turn it over to our communications team to start us off.
We do want to introduce our pledgers this evening from Tarver Elementary. We have Ava Amenador and Adrian Nod. Fifth grader, loves diving into books. She has a passion for drawing and writing stories and anything that sparks her imagination. Her friends describe her as kind, helpful, outgoing, persistent. second grader Adrian, passion for science. He is an avid reader, and he recently just won Tarver's spelling, outperforming students up to fifth grade. And we're grateful to have both of you here with us tonight. Thank you. And now we'll have our students from our showcase, our high school robotics. Tonight we enjoyed a presentation from students at Belton and Belton New Tech. Their competitions inspire STEM learning, career interest in those areas. They have participated in several competitions throughout the season, and tonight you just got to see a small glimpse of what one of those is like. Their achievements really and truly impact Belton ISD and robotics. Well, he told me to use this. Okay. Okay. All right. These achievements showcase the impact of robotics in Belton ISD. They are led by instructors Andrew Berg, Pietro Justine, Jessica Percival, and Stephen Tyser. So thank you all for being here tonight. That may be one of the most exciting showcases we've ever had. Thank you, robotics. You guys go with that way. Go that way. Go that way. Next, we want to recognize our National Football Foundation National Academic Excellence Award finalist. Congratulations. Congratulations to Lake Belton High School Broncos varsity football team for being named a finalist for the National Football Foundation National Academic Excellence Award for the 4th consecutive year, one of only 7 5A schools to earn this honor. This award recognizes the academic excellence from the entire team. And tonight we have our team captains that are here accepting the recognition for the team along with Coach Brian Cope. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And we'd like to now recognize our Texas Thespians National Qualifiers. Congratulations to Belton High School Theater Department. Under instructor Melissa Stuff, this team had 9 students that were recognized at the state level for musical theater, duet acting, group acting, costume design, and Democracy Works essay competition. Congratulations to all of you for this outstanding achievement. And next up, we have all-state band qualifiers. We are proud to celebrate TMEA all-state band members. From Belton High School, we have Pablo Ureste He is an all-state jazz musician who achieved first chair for the entire state of Texas in trombone. And we have Lake Belton High School Band, Adam Numkin. He placed in the TMA All-State 5A Band, first place at the regional level, and second chair at the area level for the entire state. And their instructors, Kevin Kwaku and Bobby Jurgen. And the All-Staters continue with All-State Choir. Tonight, we celebrate 3 students who were selected for All-State Choir. Belton High School Choir senior Ava Novak placed 3rd chair in the state, and junior Cannon Hammonds placed 5th chair in the state. For Lake Belton High School Choir, senior Ethan Smith earned a spot in the large school division for the 2nd consecutive year. Congratulations, All-State Choir. And their instructors, Terrence Livingston, Tanya Lavorne, and Charlotte Werman. And more All-Staters. We have our Texas High School Coaches Association Academic All-State Football, 33 student athletes. These seniors selected by the Texas High School Coaches Association must be in good standing with their team, have good moral character, and have an overall GPA of 92 or above. Belton High School has 7 honorees, and Coach Sniffen is here tonight with them. And Lake Belton High School has 26 honorees, and Coach Brian Cope is back up here with us tonight. Congratulations, All-State Football. And next up, we have UIL cheerleading state finalist. Congratulations to Lake Belton High School. Lake Belton High School cheer team earned a spot in the 5A D1 Division Finals. Cheer is led by Coach Laura Bulls. They competed last month at the competition in Fort Worth. We are super proud of you guys for achieving this honor. So proud of Lake Belton Cheer. And next, we will recognize our Temple Rotary Educator of the Month. Miss Yanitza Arroyo Cifuentes. I practiced that, and I'm so sorry. She has been honored by the Temple Rotary Club as the Rotary Educator of the Month for January. She is a dual language teacher at Charter Oak and is in her 9th year of teaching. Dual language coordinator said of Ms. Fuentes, she fosters a culture of value, support, and growth while continuously seeking opportunities to enhance instruction. We are so proud of you for being honored with this Rotary Educator of the Month award. And now Belton Rotary Educator of the Quarter is Rose Morales. She is a first grade teacher at Leon Heights Elementary in her 23rd year of education. Her principal, Lexi Newberry, says she inspires students to think critically, fosters a classroom environment where they feel confident taking risks, and encourages collaboration and learning. Congratulations to you, Rose. And our department showcase this evening to celebrate CTE month in the month of February. We have our CTE department. Belton ISD Career and Technology is a key part of our career readiness department. Last year, we had more than 817 students earn over 1,000 industry-based certifications for CTE. This year, we were notified that we are a CTE District of Distinction, one of only 37 in the state. 38, one of only 38 in the state. And we're so proud of Belton ISD CTE team for inspiring career exploration and shaping students' futures. Denise Ayers leads this department of PK-12 career readiness. And our final recognition this evening is our community partner recognition, and that is Meta Temple Data Center. We are proud to celebrate our partnership with Meta. Tonight, we have representing Meta, Holly Davies, Community Development Manager, and Derek Drawhorn, who's the Temple Data Center Director. As you heard earlier this evening, Meta has invested so much in our STEM programming, especially with robotics. And what you saw tonight in our showcase would not have been possible without them. We are truly grateful for your partnership and look forward to continuing to grow.
As our board is coming up to the dais, I can tell you these are the most amazing educators I have worked with anywhere in my career, and the most amazing students. Will you please one more time show your love for these amazing educators and students?
All right, folks, thank you all for attending tonight. We're about to get into the meat of our meeting, so if you want to stay, you can. If you want to exit, you can do that as well. Next on the agenda are public comments in accordance with policy BED local. We will take public comments regarding items on the agenda at the beginning of the meeting, and comments regarding non-agenda items will be heard at the end of the meeting to allow the board to conduct business of the district. Becca, do we have anyone signed up for? No, all right. So now we move on to item 4. Public hearing regarding the 2023-2024 Texas Academic Performance Report, TAPR. Dr. Golden?
Yes, Board, as you can see, Gabby Nino joined us at the podium. So Gabby is our Assistant Superintendent for Teaching and Learning. And although you have seen this data throughout the fall semester, we are required to do a report and public hearing when the Texas Academic Performance Report comes out. And so Gabby is here to provide that information this evening.
Good evening, and thank you for hearing me this evening. Again, the purpose of the annual TAPR report is to review and hold a public hearing over the contents of the 2023-24 Texas Academic Performance Report. What I'm going to do is just review very quickly the contents that will be found in the comprehensive report by section. The first section that's included annually is inclusive of a district report and campus report. Secondly, every year you'll see the financial standard report included. This one alone shows you that anything that we're reviewing in the TAPR report are things that we have discussed in one of our board reports publicly. That you'll notice the nuances of dates in this section. The actual financial data reports are from the 22-23 school year. Several of the reports included individually are from what we would call lag data. In section 3, you will find our accreditation status. We remain an accredited organization and school district. This has not changed since last year when I reported on this. Those accreditation status updates have not been released. The final 4 sections are based on our campus performance objectives. Those are our improvement plans that we brought to you earlier in the school year. There is always included a report on violent or criminal incidents on campuses. We don't have any to report this year. There is a section on student performance in post-secondary institutions. You'll also notice the year there for 21-22. So that's several years historical data. It's based on the graduates from the 21-22 school year. So data gets into the post-secondary institutions, and we don't get that data for several years after that. And then the final section of the annual TAPR report is our progress towards our House Bill 3 goals. Just as a visualization and a reminder, we have House Bill 3 goals articulated in early literacy and in math. And as we reviewed in our workshop this evening, we also have a House Bill 3 goal related to CCMR. And just want to state again that these are those measures that we report out on monthly related to our academic progress report. Again, this is just a public hearing on the contents of the TAPR report, and at this time, I would turn back over to you all for the actual hearing.
Okay, the time is now 6:55 p.m., and we'll now open the public hearing regarding the 2023-2024 TAPR report. Becca, do we have anyone sign up for public comment? No. Okay. Any board discussion on this issue? No? Okay.
Discussion, just a clarification. Can you just speak to what being accredited means for those who may not understand what that is?
Sure. So there's a rubric that's put out for accreditation of districts, and it's based on really some of the contents that are listed here, including your financial reporting, academic status, and then one of the key components of it is if there's any specific targeted areas that a district was asked by the state of Texas to address, it's related to their progress with any specific targeted area. And so it's limited districts that are impacted by accreditation. And again, ours was not updated. Nobody in the state of Texas has been updated for this year.
Let me go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:58 p.m. and then also ask if there's any additional discussion. Question? Okay.
So I think as board members, we get to study this and talk about it. If I was just a parent who was interested in this report and I got on, where would you direct me to? What would be some maybe key things that maybe I could pull out as a parent or just a stakeholder, just a taxpayer in the district that's just curious about how's Belton doing? I mean, what would be some key points to take away or have them look at if they wanted to open this up?
Sure. So a couple of things embedded within your question. First of all, where could I access it? The report, the comprehensive report, is linked on our website, and we have a tab related to it: public reporting, required reporting, and TAPER report. Within it, what I would recommend is that if you were interested in studying how we're progressing academically, is to dig into the academic portions. And it's broken apart by grade level, and it'll give you specific related to every tested area that we have, our overall performance in each of those areas, how we've grown over time, and then also a look at how each of our individual student groups are performing. You also then could see, if you are a parent and interested, on the same page, each of our improvement plans for our campuses and district. And so you can see the correlation that tells you how we're responding to that data. The challenging thing about the public release of the TAPER report is that we've been doing the intensive planning. We've put our improvement plans in place to start the school year, and so it really is a reflection back for anybody who's interested. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I would also point people back to at least our last two meetings, right, where we've taken deep dives into this data. You know, I guess math was last month, right, and reading was the time before, to really kind of look at sort of the deeper commentary, because I got to tell you, looking at the TAPER report itself is really tough to swallow, right? And so I think, you know, directing folks to those snippets of the presentations, I think we'll get a lot of good commentary that you wouldn't get out of the actual report.
I would also add, if somebody is interested, it is very complex, the true TAPER report, and so it can be overwhelming. Our team is available to support anybody that's interested. Holly Moore is here, and she is our Director of Assessment and Accountability, and she would be happy to walk through any element of the TAPER report as well.
Anyone else? Thank you, Gabby. Next item on the agenda is item 4B, public hearing regarding accelerated instruction report. The time is now 7 p.m., and we'll now open the public hearing regarding the accelerated instruction report.
Right, so the purpose of this annual report is really related to the effectiveness of our accelerated instruction in Belton ISD. So any student in the state of Texas in high school is required to pass their EOC course in the subjects listed here: Algebra 1, English 2, Biology, and U.S. History. So they're required to meet passing standard in those content areas or on a substitute exam prior to graduating from high school. So this report is actually to tell you about how our students are progressing who needed accelerated instruction, and it's a specific group of students who have not experienced success on their assessment. So when we get our results back, we put targeted intervention plans in place to help students accelerate to meet those passing standards in each of the core areas. So the graphs that you see visualized here are our passing rate percentages after accelerated instruction in each of those 5 tested areas, and you'll see us compared to both the region and the state. In all 5 areas, if you take a look at a glance, you'll see that our performance is at a higher level than the region and state in each of these tested areas. And I want to dig in just a little bit deeper to how we got that accelerated performance for students. There's 3 general areas that we have intervened with students on who were not experiencing success on those end-of-course exams. One of those being specific classroom interventions, so the teacher in their core instructional time has had some targeted standards-based instruction within the regular instruction block. And then we also have advisory tutoring that has happened This is most typically happening during one of the team times on our campuses, Tiger Time, Bronco Time. So it's a specific area of the day where students are pulled into small group for targeted instruction based on those needs. And then the large blue group is a pull-out time that is happening very intense just prior to testing. So the 5 weeks before they're retesting, students being pulled out for small group that is much more intense during that time. The pie graph represents our success rates based on each of those interventions. So you can see that the highest degree of success rate that we had with that smaller group of students who had not yet experienced success happened in the most intensified instruction that was pulled out of classroom. So this visualization is just to help you understand how we intervened and the effectiveness of those interventions. Up next, we want to show you the pass rate change and the growth rate. We have been pretty forthcoming about the reality that the single test measure on a single day is something that it's hard to stomach, right? And so, yes, we want every single one of our students to experience success whenever an assessment is put in front of them. We also really want to emphasize growth with our students. So based on those interventions, a couple of highlights that I'd like to celebrate is that we have a significant amount of growth in our students even after they didn't experience success on the first round. The investment in them has resulted in growth. We do see the highest rate of growth with students when we are using very targeted standards-based response. And when I say standards-based, I mean based on our TEKS, our required standards to teach. With the evolution of our curriculum documents over time, we have grown stronger in giving resources to teachers that are very standards aligned so that they can target students' specific needs. And so just what you see here is both the pass rate and the growth rate based on the interventions that students received. And then the bolded numbers below are the number of students that were taking part in that intervention. And finally, I just want to show you over time, the last few visualizations have really just been based on this year's data. This final slide for you is to show how we have grown over time with students who are their performance after first round, and we provided acceleration, and then they've tested again on their STAR EOC exams. And so what you can see just at a glance is that we do have growth across content areas in achieving that mastery level. There are two areas, and I'll draw your attention all the way to the right, U.S. history. It looks like just by studying the graph that we had a slight decrease in the number of students who are meeting passing standard. But if you look at the bottom, you'll see the number of students in there, and we have far fewer students needing to take that retest opportunity than we have over time. And so just wanting to bring your attention to the details of those visualizations. And at this time, I want to answer any questions you all have about our accelerated instruction for students on their EOC passing rates.
Before we move on to questions or discussion, let me make a note for the record for those people that are watching. There were no public comments on this item. No one signed up for that, so I'll make sure that that's clear. And secondly, I want to go ahead and close the public hearing at 7:06 p.m. And now we can entertain discussion or questions.
Can we go back just to the last slide, the bar graph there? Yeah. So I just want to clarify, just so I understand for sure, these are year over year. Different grades, different groups of kids? What are we looking at here as far as the groups of the bars?
It is a different group of students. So it is year over year. Every year, a new group of students is required to take U.S. history, and so they will take it. If a student did not meet passing standard on U.S. history, then we provide accelerated instruction for them so that they can retest. So these are your retesters, and it is just a comparison of the students year over year who have taken the retest.
Yeah, I mean, while we're on this chart, right, I mean, if you look at algebra, you look at biology, you look at U.S. history, right, really look at the black numbers at the bottom, right? There's significantly fewer kids who fall or have fallen into this category, which is exactly what we want, right? English 1 and 2, that's kind of interesting to me. It's a little, it's just about flat, right? But yeah, okay. And then can we go, anything else on this one? Actually, while we're here now, okay, so yeah, so this one right here. So just so we're all on the same page here too, right? So this is, of the 186 students that received pullout, right? So pullout intervention, 80% of those 186 grew based on the intervention, and 59% of those 186 passed the exam with that intervention. Okay. Thank you.
I have a question on this one too. So can you define a little bit what growth means?
So growth, so there's multiple ways to describe it within our accountability system. Essentially, what we want to see is a student moving from the most simple way is moving from their previous performance level up, right? So just simple growth. But we also look at within any reporting band, a student might have been on the lower end of did not meet and moved into the upper end, like they were getting close to approaching standard, and that could be considered growth. We also look at students who move from one proficiency level to another one. If you think about a stair step, that they moved up in a different stair step. So simply put, did they perform better this time than they did last time? But there are complexities within there and how we measure it.
Anyone else?
I have one quick question.
Okay.
And these 3 different interventions are performed at all 3 high schools?
Yes, they are. And Holly works very, very closely with our campuses and tracking what are the actual interventions that our students are taking part in. And we see a similar trend this year as we did last year in reporting out, that there's been a shift in where our students are showing most success, in particular on EOC retesting. And it's in a very intense response just prior to them taking the test. And so we're learning a lot from that, as well as a higher degree of success with the standards aligned interventions that we've been able to put in place.
Anyone else? Thank you, Gabby. Next on the agenda is item 5, action items. Consider discussion, take appropriate action regarding the adoption of the 2025-2026 district goals. Dr. Golan?
Yes, Board, this is my item to talk about this evening. So annually, we come to the Board of Trustees to adopt district goals, and the goals guide our district and campus improvement planning. Unique to Belton, we do this in 2 steps. This first one is bringing to you for your consideration the broad 5 overarching goals that we have in Belton ISD. And we know at the center of our work, the core of our work is we want our students to have exceptional experiences in our classrooms and across our programs. Tonight we highlighted quite a bit of that. And the other goals are all, while they are listed goal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're not in priority order. We know our core business is growing our students so that when they leave us, they are prepared for career and life outside of a K-12 educational setting. But we also know in order to do that, we have to attract, retain, and support an amazing team of employees. We know that we need to create a culture in which our employees and our students feel valued and supported and are challenged to grow. Gabby did a great job of showing student growth in that last presentation. And we know tonight also demonstrated that we cannot do that alone. We have to have stakeholder engagement. We have to have partners partnering along with us in that journey. And of course, we know we have to maximize the resources that we do have in order to address our current priorities as well as plans for the future. And so I'm coming to you this evening asking that you would approve these 5 broad overarching goals, and then we will come back to you with specific, strategic, measurable, attainable, results-oriented, and time-bound goals to align to each of these broader district goals. We'll do that in our next board meeting. So with that, I want to see if you have questions for me.
Any questions from Dr. Golden? Any comments from anyone? Okay, do you have a motion to adopt the 2025-2026 district goals as presented? Ms. Norwood? We'll have a number 2. Ms. Bass? Any additional discussion? No? All in favor, please raise your hand. It passes 7-0.
All right, thank you very much. That allows us to go to work on the more specific, we call SMART goals, to support each of those 5 district goals. Our campuses and district staff are already doing deep dives, comprehensive needs assessments around our various data sources, and looking forward to bringing those to you in a future meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Golden. Moving on to item 6, reports. You're up again.
That is me again. So, as you know, our vision in Belton ISD is to empower each and every learner to pursue their dreams and enrich their communities. And I have the honor in the superintendent report to share some highlights since we met last of how we're working to bring that vision to life. I do that through pictures and want to share a couple of quick highlights. The picture on the left is a beautiful example of this vision coming to life. It's a STEM night that took place at High Point Elementary School. What I love about this experience, and it's been replicated at lots of elementary schools across our district, STEM is a focus, but we also brought in families to participate with their children in these experiences. Some of them got some take-home experiences they could go home and do after they left the time at High Point. And so the picture on the right is also an incredible experience for our students. Lots of community support goes into our CTE programs. These are our Skills USA students, and they are getting ready for their big competition that they recently went to. So I also want to share with you some experiences. Again, one of the blessings of my job is I get to get into classrooms, and one of the things I'm doing right now is making sure that I'm getting to as many of our CTE courses as I can to immerse myself in the student experience. It gives me the opportunity to actually see the hands-on application that our students are engaged in, but also lets me have very intimate conversations with students about why these courses, what stood out to them, why'd they take it, and what are they planning to do beyond high school. And so I had a great, not loving that hairnet, but had a great experience making chicken fried rice with our students. I met incredible students from those that were head chef who were managing the kitchen, had designed the recipes, and we were actually preparing food, our culinary students at Belton High School, for our fine arts students at Belton High School, because they had been giving back and were doing a play with one of our area middle schools, and they were missing lunch. So when they came back, we had the opportunity to feed them. On the right-hand side, I had amazing lessons from students in a phlebotomy class. They were getting ready for one of their industry-based certifications. They were doing a skills assessment while I was in the classroom, and were actually showing me how they take blood from patients. And I had just recently had blood taken myself, and I just want to tell y'all, they all passed, and they knew exactly what to do, and I was incredibly proud of them. Also had the opportunity, as many of you did, to go to our Belton Youth Fair, which was an incredible opportunity to talk with our students. You know, our FFA programs are more than raising animals, and they are about communication skills, leadership skills. I'm so proud of our students and the great job that they did. I got to see not only amazing animals that they have really taken a great deal of time to grow and develop, but also got to see some of our students who actually designed amazing trailers for that they were able to, you know, either do because of donated funds or people bid on those. And it was incredible to see their welding skills, just amazing students. As well as I got to see Chicago. We celebrated several of the students actually this evening that are in that picture. And so incredibly proud of our fine arts programs. And I'm always amazed when I go to our performances that they sound like professionals. I can't carry a tune, but my goodness, they can carry a tune, dance. They're incredible. Continuing some celebrations, want to share several of these. So Belton High School won by district basketball championship recently. So I was incredibly proud of our students. The picture below that had the opportunity to see some of our students receive recognition from Congressman Carter. These are students that wrote essays. Many of them are in our entrepreneurship program at Lake Belton High School and were recognized by Congressman Carter. On the far right-hand side, you see our Magic Bells, who did a fantastic job. They won a variety of awards at a recent Showtime State Championship, as well as our Purtle Panthers. Incredibly proud that we have elementary. Look how many students are in that picture. Our teachers create incredible experiences for our students, and our Purtle Panthers won, I'm going to read this, Division I award. They won a judges award, a giving back award, a wow award. They wowed the judges. And finally, in the middle, you see Denise there pointing to Belton ISD. And as we have announced, Belton ISD received a District of Distinction award in the area of CTE. And we recently were at a conference where that award was given out. And so incredibly proud. You saw a lot of our CTE teachers here this evening being recognized, and we're so proud of the work that they do. They create incredible experiences for our students. And I won't hit all of these. I'll just say we have incredible Skills USA students. So you see a variety of pictures here from everything from video production. You see gold medalists for teamworks as well as carpentry. Our students did a fantastic job. And I don't know what to say about this one other than we love to celebrate the 100th day of school. I looked at this and thought I resemble some of these pictures right now, but I love how our teachers just design incredible experiences for our students. They did everything from working on their numeracy skills to literacy skills, all while dressing up and having fun and celebrating the 100th day of school. And finally, added one final thing to the superintendent's report tonight. And that is, I know we're going to be talking with you in a future workshop, but we finished our last session, and we've been spending the last 18 months, Denise Sharp and Todd and I, as well as so many members of our leadership team, on really bringing people together to define what do we mean by leadership in Belton ISD. And so you've seen this graphic before. This is right now driving so much of our improvement efforts. We're aligning our professional learning for principals and assistant principals to really growing these competencies. They're setting goals, tracking progress, as well as leaders at all levels of our organization. This is what we mean by leadership. And we want to grow a really strong pipeline of leaders from our teachers who want to go into teacher leadership positions. Maybe they want to go into positions within curriculum, within operations, but we've got a lot of work to do. We've developed a 3-year plan around this work and look forward to a future workshop where we can tell you what we've already done and what we plan to do as we move into the next 3 years to really continue to develop and support leaders in Belton ISD. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone have any questions or comments? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Golden. All right, moving on to item 6B, board highlights. Anyone want to share anything that they did in the past month related to our district?
I'll start. Just a few I'll share. Attended a family STEM night at Chisholm Trail about a month ago, and it was for the fifth graders. They got to do an "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader" with their parents, and yeah, I think it was a good success for their first time around. And then each of the other grades, you got to go and participate in a STEM activity. And did you know that because we don't have snow, we can make snow using only 2 simple ingredients in your house, and that is shaving cream and baking soda. Legit. I mean, it really feels like snow, but you have to get the right consistency. But it was really fun to watch a big group of first graders it really became just play fun after that. They were making snow cones with it. It was super cute. Last week, Dr. Golden and Christine and I got to go down to Austin to the Capitol. To the first part of our day, we had Tassa Tasby had put on a legislative conference update. So we got to hear from Representative Buckley. He kind of gave an overall, just an update where he's at, kind of some things that were important to him. And that was to school districts across the state of Texas. So it was a pretty full room. We also heard from our Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, just an update on public ed. We also heard from Glenn Hager. Did I say that right? Hagar, our comptroller. And then we got to hear from two representatives, Van Dever and Tellerico, one Republican, one Democrat. And it was really encouraging they were at the table together, and they so much in common and support for public school. And so I thought that was very encouraging to hear them talk. We got to go to the House floor where our very own Representative Hillary Hicklin, she recognized us on the House floor. So that was really fun to have her do that. And so we got to stand up, and we got to see some other recognitions, but that was a pretty fun little thing that we got to do. And then we got to go and actually have some time with each of their offices with Senator Flores, Representative Buckley, and Representative Hicklin. And so we just got to kind of hear their thoughts on bills that are that are important to them, priorities that are important to us. And so it was just a really, really great day, and I'm really thankful. And I want to give a real big shout out to Christine. The work that you're doing to track what is happening down in Austin is truly remarkable. And so she had the bills from all three offices, the ones that they're authoring, co-authoring, snapshot about them, what are some key points that we need to maybe discuss. And so that was just incredibly helpful. And so thank you for your hard work. I can only imagine that you probably don't sleep much to try to keep up with what's going on down in Austin. So thank you.
Okay, real quickly. So we might have been adopted by some high school students from a high school in the Houston area. And it was really great to see high school students engaging in a legislative process, and I look forward to in the future us being able to engage our students in a similar fashion. But I think we made some friends there.
Thank you, Aaron. That was very informative. Anyone else?
Yeah. Rucker and I attended the TABA dinner the other night before the Home and Garden Show that they sponsor and put on every year. And that's always an interesting evening, because it's one of those things that really helps you remember how much school districts, home building, community, all of that is such a symbiotic relationship, and how we all work together to help each other in that community and in that effort to build strong, sustainable communities that people want to live in. And I think it's always a good reminder, and they're good people that work with them. The other thing I attended on Saturday was the Friends of the Library luncheon. They brought in a very famous author. Her name is Lisa Wingate. The Friends of the Library put on a luncheon every year here in Belton. It's usually just 2 or 3, sometimes local authors, but this was a really big deal. And it was at the Christ the King Catholic Church. They have a brand new, huge fellowship hall or community hall, whatever you call it, and they I don't know if they donated or rented it or what, but it was packed out with community members from Belton. And one of the things that was so cool, I saw Ben Smith there, I saw lots of educators and people that are from Belton ISD currently. I also saw some of my old teachers that taught me in Belton ISD, and I also saw people that I taught with in Belton ISD who no longer teach. So it was such a cool, multi-generational thing. And also, I went to honor my father, who passed a couple months ago, and he was on that board for the Friends of the Library, and he himself was a local author, and my mother had donated some of his books for the silent auction. So it was just a sweet day, and it was just a delight to be able to be a part of a community event like that that also brought back a lot of my educational memories.
Thank you, Janet. Jeff, did you go to the Stunk Show?
I did.
I want to hear about that.
Well, I got to walk around with Dr. Golden and Miss Bass, Miss Ayers. It was my first time in 10 years, but I just came and went for the entire week. I didn't have any stress. It was awesome. I mean, no stress at all. But our kids did a great job. They always do. We're so well represented there. We had our teachers here. Some of them were actually missing tonight because they're hauling the kids across the state of Texas. It's a long month for those teachers. I mean, they finish, you know, hat off to them. They will finish a show at Bell County and start loading kids up at 8 o'clock at night when they've been down there for 2 days straight. They will load up that night. They will drive from here to San Antonio that night. They'll stay in line until 6 and 7 in the morning, so they sleep in a truck all night long to get those kids into those barns. And that's just the beginning of what's called the circuit. When they finish in San Antonio, they load up and they'll head to Houston. They'll head to San Angelo. It is a month of they don't sleep, and, you know, couldn't do it without the support of all the parents. I mean, the kids, and anybody who's raised kids, they're not sleeping for 2 to 3 weeks, so they are really pleasant to deal with at this point, too. So that was a great success. A couple other things I got to do because I had time. The robotics, we had a competition at Belton Tech. I got to go up there. Now, I understood what we did here. I had no idea what I was watching at one of those competitions. I watched it. I cheered when other people cheered, but I didn't know what I was watching. But it was unique, you know, something totally different. It's just an area that I'm not that familiar with, so it was fun to see it. And then, I think 2 weeks ago, I don't remember, but we had one of our, is it Partners with Parents? Parents as Partners events at Belton Tech. That's where they host them. And if any of y'all, I think Ms. Bass has probably been to one, but if you ever get a chance to go to it, it's really unique. And I think it goes with what our vision has always been, and hopefully it continues to grow. Hats off to Christine. She has helped so much this year. But we've always said that we have got to get parents engaged in the process. And, you know, it's not just a drop your kid off, hey, we're going to keep them here for 8 hours a day, we're going to educate them, and we're sending them back home to you, and there's no, there has to be back and forth. And, you know, it's a great thing. I don't know if other districts do it, to be honest, but it's to bring in parents and show them, here the services that we offer at Belton ISD. And every month that they do it, it can be something different. Sometimes it's on IEP, sometimes it's on services for bilingual, whatever it is, it's got a focus. They have speakers that come in, and it's a great, if you ever get a chance to attend it, you know, I walk around and kind of see the different classes that are going on. I don't sit through a whole class, but I've seen it grow, and it's a lot of work. Those people that are up there, I mean, it takes them a long time to put it on, and it's a great thing. So when you get a chance, it shows up on our calendar sometime. It's great to stop by there, spend about 45 minutes just walking around seeing everybody.
This Wednesday, 5:30 to 7 at Megabytes. Parents as Partners, dual language and ESL programs. Just a little plug.
Chris.
If you ever wonder how we get award-winning bands like the Stampede and the Marching 100 or the amazing orchestras that we have at the high school level, right? If you ever wonder how that happens, you need to go to the instrument night at the middle school where they bring the fifth graders in, right? The current fifth graders in, right? To essentially the sorting hat, right? To figure out what their instrument fate is going to be, right? Which house are they joining? Yeah, I had the opportunity to go to instrument night. And you would think that was going to be an absolute nightmare, right? Fifth graders running around, like trying every single instrument that you could try, right? So, you know, you got the woodwinds, you've got the brass instruments, you've got all of the orchestra stuff, right? And they have the opportunity to try every single instrument there to really figure out where do their bodies fit, right, with those instruments, right? Can you make sounds with the oboe? You know, some of them can, some of them can't. But just the amazing support from our high school band directors from both Belton High School and Lake Belton High School, and all their supporting cast, right? And so that's the private lesson instructors and add-ons to kind of help with that. And some of the students that actually go in, the care that they took with all those fifth graders to kind of spend hours to get through that is just absolutely amazing. And that's the kind of system that we've got in place to really make sure that we're driving like excellence from a performance standpoint. It was really pretty awesome to be a part of it. I think I have another tuba in the family out of that night, but just saying. That's awesome. Yeah. Had the opportunity to go check out Lord of the Flies at Lake Belton High School. I'm so sad I missed Chicago. I wanted to see the live orchestra in the pit. Unfortunately, I couldn't make that one, but Lord of the Flies was pretty cool. Got to check out a battle of the Beltons, Belton High School against Lake Belton High School women's soccer. Went there. If you didn't see that, Belton High School edged it out 2-1. And then the robotics competition. So I dropped in the robotics competition that Jeff was talking about, and I got to tell you, like, what you saw tonight was only a fraction of it, right? What you didn't see was, the whole structure that's in the center of that field. There's robots that climb some of that stuff. It's absolutely amazing. And there's no better way to see sort of the journey of a graduate in action than actually to see some of those robotics things that go on. And to talk to some of those students about their thought process and, how do they work through issues, errors, mistakes, malfunctions, whatever the case may be. Like, you see the whole journey at work in those robotics competitions, and to see the success in a relatively short period of time that we're having across the schools, it's absolutely amazing.
And they build those things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They build them and rebuild them and rebuild them and learn a couple lessons and rebuild them again. And yeah. So if you've not ever seen it, like, you've got to do it. I mean, the Dragon Den, right? Where they do it at New Tech is a great place to go with, like, super cozy feel. When they do it at Lake Belton High School, it's kind of cool because you could watch it from up top. So, but again, if you want to see a good place to see all the journey in action, that's the place to go.
Public education.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, the opportunities are just limitless.
Public education at work.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Anyone else? Rucker.
Chicago was mentioned again, another great performance by our students. I got to go to my first college signing day at Lake Belton High School, and I'd never been to anything like that before, and it was really, really well done. And just the culture, I thought Coach Cope did with the students, all from the entire high school, all the student athletes coming to watch, was incredibly well done. The TABA event was great. I thought it was pretty impressive, the number of elected officials that were there, and I think TABA does a great job, obviously, of understanding that strong businesses make a strong community, but also grasping that we have to have a strong educated workforce, and that comes from a connection with the public schools. So big props to TABA for understanding that educational connection. And I think also on board highlights, we can talk about someone who's doing a great job within our district. And Dr. Golden, you're everywhere. You're all, I go to things that, sometimes I go just to be a parent, and there you are. Your engagement with the kids, with parents, the listening sessions you do, I feel like every single day around the calendar, with our principals, everyone. Not to mention, I had a conversation with someone, I don't remember right now who it was, but they said, that superintendent, Dr. Golden, she's pretty amazing. And they were talking about your ability to connect with people in the community and just how visible you are. And I was just so proud to hear that, of course. So you're doing outstanding.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I second that. I think it's ditto across the board here. Anyone else?
Can't top any of that.
Oh, that's... Oh, just listening to you guys is amazing. It's just a testament to what goes on in this district. And this is just for a few minutes. We can go on all day talking about things, right? Okay, well, thank you all for that. Well, that brings us to the consent agenda. Does anyone want to pull anything from the consent agenda? No takers. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented? Ms. Lee, I have a second. Ms. Bass? All right, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Passes 7-0. All right, let's move on to item 8, board requests for new information and/or reports. Board members, at this time, are there any requests for new information or reports from the administrative team? None. Okay.
Wait, 1 second.
Ms. McDonald?
So just a request from administration, and I don't know how to communicate this out to the various campuses. It's wonderful that they invite us to things, but we need to make sure that they're not inviting the entire board on one email. So that's happening a lot. So I always point it out to Becca so she'll know that what we've been invited to do, but I just want to say that out loud here so it becomes part of our record.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, moving on to, that takes care of item 8. Moving on to public comments regarding non-agenda items. Becca, I think we have one signed up. Okay. Mr. Beck, as you approach the podium, give me a second here to read something into the record, if you would. In accordance with District Policy BED Local, any person wishing to address the Board of Trustees during public comments shall sign up before the meeting. In order to comply with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the Board may not respond to comments or otherwise discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on the meeting agenda. And Mr. Beck, I have you here as Riley Beck, and you're up at the microphone now, so if you would, just state your name for the record. Tell us where you reside, and then you've got 3 minutes.
My name's Riley Beck. My wife and I live here in Belton, Texas. We have 4 children that go to the school district here in 3 different schools. One of the items that I wanted to discuss tonight is the budget. There's an $8+ million deficit. I know there's been a lot of difficult decisions that have been made recently, and now some plans on how to implement cuts and what we're going to do. Among those is increasing class sizes for secondary, so middle school and high school education. One of my concerns with that, and one thing that I really don't understand, is that we still have that we take in a whole bunch of, and I don't know how many, I think it's about 200 students from without the district. So we're talking about increasing the class size for our students while we're taking in students from without the district. It seems to me if there's an $8 million deficit that the cost that in providing education per student, we're not able to meet that at this point. So my question and concern is, why are we taking on students from outside of the district while we can't take care, or while we're not able to provide enough finance for our students that we currently have? In increasing the class size, I think it also not only impacts students, but also impacts the teachers. Even if it's just a couple here and there, so whether it's a couple of those that have transferred in from outside of the district, or increasing the students per class, it all adds up. 5 minutes here, grading assignment, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes a week, every week, parent-teacher conferences, and all of the responsibilities that teachers have. So I hope we can think about that when we're addressing this, because it seems like, well, so I've talked about students, I've talked about teachers and the impact that I think it'll have on them. And then also the taxpayer. I don't understand why we are still continuing to have students from without the district while the Belton taxpayer is covering that. I mean, it's hundreds of millions of dollars in bonds that we passed. And as far as I understand it, none of those students and their parents are paying. I would imagine they're not paying, since they're not living within the district, any of those bond tax dollars towards our district. So my request is that we're responsible within our district for the students, for the teachers, and for the taxpayer within our district. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beck. And that's the only person we had, right, for non-agenda items, Becca? Okay. Moving on to item 10, closed session. The time is 7:42 p.m. The board will now go into closed session regarding student disciplinary matter, Texas Government Code Section 551.082, personnel, Texas Government Code Section 551.074, and consultation with attorney, Texas Government Code Section 551.071. The time is 9 p.m. and the board is now reconvened in open session. All action items, reports, and consent forms for the meeting have been addressed. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 9 p.m.
Thank you all.